this is a video. I'm not in the best mood right now because I don't like dealing with stupid people, and I just had to deal with them for a full week. Let's go. So, this is what if the kids trained like their parents? Now, small difference. Well, not really small at all. Well, the big difference, I guess, really would be none of them are as weak. Now, we start off whenever Goku and Vegeta are about to go train on Beerus's planet. At this point, Goku had actually said, hold on, wait 2 hours, that's all I request. This is right after the kids tried going and their mom said no. But then thought about it for a second, saying, on one condition. You have to, pointing to Goku and Vegeta and Beerus, and Whis saying, I'll have to take care of the kids, and keep them informed in knowledge and studies. Whis saying, I'm literally the smartest being in this entire universe. I'm pretty sure I can teach 2 kids basic stuff. You know what I'm saying? Good point. Deal. And then you hear Gohan say, right before they leave, he grabs their sword saying, hold on. I've got to go set stuff up real quick. 2 hours, that's all I need. Whis saying, make it worth my while, then. Bring food. And then he said, I'll be back with the best food you've ever had. Just give me those 2 hours. Deal. You got 2 hours. And then Gohan just flies away, and he goes to his work, and he actually said, I need 4 months off. Actually, a few months off. Then was hearing this saying why, he said, you see, I've got an emergency, I have to go take care of a family emergency. Then saying, alright. Gohan going to Videl, and saying, honey, I'm gonna have to go off work for a while. I'll be back in a few months, and if anything happens, I know what exactly what to do. He said, as he flew kind of over to his mom and Bulma, he actually requested that they all stay at the Capsule Corp, and actually tried requesting Piccolo to take over the farm for a while, until they got back. This request was completely allowed, saying, Piccolo saying, okay. So on one condition, as old as he was, he kind of gathered them in about an hour. We all keep training, try gaining the force that you all have. And if even one of us starts lacking behind, we whip them into shape. Piccolo basically being like the strongest one on the planet, saying, y'all go become gods. We'll deal with the mortal plane. Or whatever kind of powerhouse thing Piccolo would say. Anyway, the first thing we see is that as Gohan got into his fighting gi, he looked eye to eye with Whis, saying, you'll train, let's train. As they flew off world as the final thing, being a goodbye from their moms, and from Chi-Chi, Bulma, and Videl, they all said goodbye, as Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks all flew away with Whis on the staff. Beerus is completely out like light. They've got a few months. Now, in canon, Vegeta on his own took about 6 months to get God Ki. That ain't gonna happen. At most, it'll take about 4 months because of all the training they're going to do. And Gohan actually brought a staff with him. And asking what it was about, Gohan simply stated that it's called the Power Pole. It's a weapon that his family has used since Goku. I guess you could say for generations now. We sang, oh, let me see. Oh, it extends to a larger size. Impressive. Well, if I cover it with ki, it works kind of just like a like a good weapon. That's basically it. Ah, I see. As he took the bow staff just for a while, to see if they could get use out of it, and they were going to. So the first thing we see is that Goku and Vegeta, they're fighting, like sparring with Whis in a 2 and not able to land a single hit. Well, on the other hand, not even a full mile away, we see Goten and Trunks trying to do the same thing against Gohan. And Beerus wakes up a little bit after something happens. Goku unlocked God Ki again. Vegeta, not even but a few days later, got God Ki out of kind of spite. Gohan, who at this point has been training between all of them, is getting some of the most gains, and even has actually unlocked God Ki about a half a month later than everyone else, who took each about, 2 months to unlock it. Goten and Trunks unlock it at mere days between each other. Goten getting it first, but Trunks getting it very soon after. Now, while they did get the power, they weren't really as what they were expecting. Gohan wasn't expecting the power of a god to feel so overwhelming. Trunks thought it was going to be funner than this, and Goten was just surprised at how much force he had now. Okay, so Goten is just surprised at how much force he can throw now at punches, and Vegeta is actually commenting about how God power feels so infinite, but it's not. Grasping his hand, saying, "This is what we need to make our base forms." And then we see Goku saying, "One step ahead of you, Vegeta." This angers Vegeta, saying, "What do you mean by that, Kakarot? Since I unlocked it every day, I've been training with Whis for 2 hours at least, trying to maintain God Ki. So far, I can maintain it for full 2 hours. And I'm trying to be able to make it where I can unlock more. Kakarot, you need to tell us this stuff." Goku saying, "Why? Y'all are gonna unlock this kind of power soon enough. Besides, I figured you would figure it out by now." Goku just seemed, and then we sang, "I see. Alright, I want you to go in a 5 versus 1. If you can land a single hit on me, you win. You may all go into God Ki now." I'm saying, "Are you sure?" As we see Whis' eyes flare into a kind of grayish silver aura. This is Ultra Instinct, as he's going purely into full force at this point, saying, "I won't hold back, neither should you." Goten and Trunks actually said, "Can we fuse?" He said, "Whatever you wish to do, you may." Then they were able to fuse, but having slight trouble. While they were eventually able to completely kind of fuse, they had 30 minutes to fuse. They fused, and it was now a 4-on-1. And this woke up Beerus, as we see both a god, basically. Hold on a second. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry if the recording is kind of muffled or anything. My brother thinks turning the TV up to max volume is funny. And I'm not trying to get any copyright claims or anything for any of the stuff he watches, and you can probably still hear it. Because I'm only got a blanket cover the outside world from me. So anyway, let's get into the video. As we remember this, Whis is now currently fighting 4 Super Saiyan gods, one of which being a fusion that is strong enough to keep up completely with everyone else easily. Goku pushed it to Super Saiyan Blue in this fight. Vegeta tried doing the same, didn't work out as well. Gohan tried combining it, but didn't work out at all. And got sent, and they all kind of went flying backwards. While Gotenks was able to go into this, and then bumped it up to Super Saiyan 2 Blue, which is so powerful that it makes Blue Evolution look like a joke. Now, yes, they don't have the power it needs to actually maintain this forever, and this cut their time down very much so.
And Whis knocked them out of, fusion after a 30-minute battle, and they haven't landed a single punch on him. They were able to come one right next to his cheek, not even hitting, though. But this was with all of them fighting at once. And then them being out of it, saying, "Let's go again." No fusing, just completely jumping Whis, trying to do their best to attack him. And they were actually able to. The one who finally wound up landing the hit was Goku with a punch to the stomach, as a kind of single shot to the stomach, as Whis in Full Ultra Instinct was surprised that he was even able to land a hit on him. Because he'd noticed Goku's fist move back, but he wasn't expecting a full-on punch like that exactly where it was. Anyway, Beerus wakes up, he says, "What's with all this racket?" As he sees 5 gods standing on his planet saying, "Hold up. Now I know dang well there's only supposed to be one Super Saiyan God, and I fought him. It's only you," pointing to Goku. "So why are there 4 other Super Saiyan gods that are the Saiyans that are from that planet looking at me?" Then you hear Whis say, "They wouldn't take no for an answer, so I decided to train them." What? Gohan saying, "I've got 2 weeks left on your planet, Lord Beerus. Then I have to go back home and go to..." Understanding how the way of jobs work, because, his entire job is destroying things. You hear Beerus saying, "Huh. Alright, if that's the choice you wanted to make, let's go." Saying, "Now, instead, we're going to break the training up into 2 pieces." We sang, "You mean that, my lord?" "Alright. Gohan, Goten, and Trunks, you 3 will train with me. Whis, you train Goku and Vegeta." "Yes, my lord." As they kind of go into their own 2 separate areas to train. And the training for against Beerus was Beerus being in his barely kind of scratching omen against all of them in God Key saying, "Land a single hit to me, and you win." We already landed a hit to Whis. "Oh, you had landed a hit to Whis. Was that all 5 of you?" "Yes." "Oh. Try landing one on me alone. Just 3 of you, without your fathers." Go on saying, "Okay, if you want me to." Powering up into Super Saiyan Blue for an instant, and clacking one punch into into Beerus's mouth, barely being stopped by a finger from Beerus, saying, "Oh, that was close. If I hadn't moved it that fast, even a second shorter, even a millisecond slower, and my face would be completely showed by your knuckle." And then he forgot that, even for a second, he forgot about Goten and Trunks, who at this point just punched right into the back of his back, each of them landing a single hit. And Gohan saying, "Oh, I wasn't the attack," as he uppercutted Beerus. Whis turning and saying, "Wait," as he had to wind up, they kind of all stopped, and Whis had said, "Calm down, my lord. They agreed to your terms, and they won." Beerus saying, "I know they did. It's time we get a good sparring match in." At this point, after 2 weeks of this kind of training passes, of power up and power up and power up, Gohan can go into Super Saiyan Blue at will like it's a joke. Gohan and Goten can go into Super Saiyan Blue with some difficulty and can only last 2 hours in it. Goku and Vegeta can go into Super Saiyan Blue as if it's just normal. The way they could, way farther on, though. Vegeta's kind of unlocked a version of Blue Evolution, he's at the edge of it, but he can't kind of use it yet. And Goku has kind of figured out Kaioken would work on this form, but he's not trying that right now, as it might kill him. It might blow him up if he uses too much of it. Anyway, they decided all to go. At this point, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks had said, "We'll be going back to Earth now, fathers." Vegeta and Goku saying, "What?
Really? You going back to Earth? Yes. We sang, but I thought you wanted to train. We do, and we will be continuing our training. But we will use hyperbolic
time chamber.
and we sang, oh, there's more. And we will also be trying to surpass our fathers. They're training in the realm of the gods. You're training back on a planet. Gohan saying yes, but there's 3 of us training. We have all got better potential than the old man's. Gohan and Vegeta saying, Goku and Vegeta saying, really? You think you could beat us? Let's have a match then. 2 versus 3 seems pretty fair. Make you a deal. Y'all 3 beat us 2. You win. Gohan saying,
Sweet. Because he knew he alone could pretty easily keep up with these 2. And he knows that he can go into power basically around the same as Vegeta. But if he
was ever kind of like push them both to the edge, Vegeta would probably win the fight. Knowing that Goten and Trunks, both of them are close enough to the power of their fathers, that they could actually land punches quite fast on himself and Gohan. They could probably even land punches on Vegeta and Goku with minor difficulty. But it'd be it wouldn't be an even fight. You see, they're at most, I'd say about 75% the strength of Goku or Vegeta. Gohan is about 95%. And, simply put, they don't think they're going to win this. They just plan on going into a point where they're at the edge of beating their fathers. And Gohan had made a comment that he could take them both on at once. Them both powering up in the Super Saiyan Blue, and Gohan doing the same. Goten and Trunks powering up into God Ki, fusing in their Super Saiyan Blue 2 forms, which is almost like a Super Saiyan 3 looking form, just not quite there. Saying, oh, so you're going with that power. Goku and Vegeta knowing dang well they couldn't beat that kind of power on their own. They'd have to wait for the 30 minutes to be up and then be able to win. Gohan going in his full power of Super Saiyan Blue with a kind of edge of the Ultimate Form in it, but not quite. So it looks kind of like an Ultra Instinct kind of version, just not as powerful. And he's actually keeping up pretty dang well with, I think he got his father while Gotenks goes at Vegeta. And it's going where it's basically a stalemate. Because yes, Vegeta's losing that fight, but so is Gohan. And once Gohan's kind of like seeming to be, once the 30 minutes are up, and Vegeta said, oh, you thought you were winning that fight? Huh. Cocky, not wanting to admit that he just had to cough blood out of his mouth because of how much power they have. Goku actually complimenting his son, saying, the first one to actually, you and Vegeta, I guess, are the 2 strongest I know. You're not strong enough to beat me. Powering up into a kind of full force, and then he threw Kaioken on top of it. But just a small bit. Goku and Vegeta won this fight by a hair. And that was only because Gohan kind of ran out of energy while they were completely unfused, trying to do their best to fight. Anyway, now we're going to the Frieza saga thing. So the same kind of thing was happening. They were training again. Gohan knew he was about to have to go home, and he did. He goes home, and the first thing that happens, because they've been gone for 4 months. Not 6. They've got 2 months left. 2 months before Videl has Pan, and a few months before anything else happens, too. So, yeah. So after these few months have passed, something utterly terrifying happens. Knowing that they had revived Frieza, hearing that they had done it 3 months ago, well, a month ago from whenever they finally got back to Earth, Gohan hearing this thing, if I was here, I could have stopped it. Goku and Vegeta saying, "Don't be hard on yourself, boy. Everything will be okay. It's just Frieza." Now, we start going into the whole fight. Now, something very different happens. Goku and Vegeta said, "Call us if y'all ever need anything. We'll be going back to Barris's planet for the next 3 months." Goku and Vegeta have trained like they're going to be fighting Barris, basically, in a fight, hoping to fight him in one-on-one to win a fight against Barris. So they've gotten to the point where they're so powerful, they're almost at the point where they can probably hit their most powerful forms. Vegeta's already got Blue kind of down, and he's at the point of getting Blue Evolution. Goku hasn't got kind of anywhere near as much power as he needs, but he's powerful enough to go into Ultra Instinct. He just needs to get that extra push that he got in terms of power. Now, slight difference. Whenever the whole attack happens by Frieza force the whole army, in this version, Gohan being the strongest among them, able to go into a God Ki, doesn't even feel like it's needed. In base form, he's already strong enough to walk around, basically running through the entire army. Everyone's there, except for Goku and Vegeta, who probably wouldn't even really be needed. Now, being that we're going to go with as much canon as I can use as this version, Goten and Trunks both wind up jumping side to side, starting to beat down basically an armada of soldiers. Being that there's only about 5 regular soldiers left that aren't even powerful enough to keep up with Krillin, Frieza just basically sends blasts at all of them saying, "Enough. Now that you've had your fun and warm-ups, it's my turn." Frieza powers up into his kind of full power kind of thing. Now, very big difference. The same power is what he has. He still has golden form, but he doesn't show it off. He shows his regular form. And Gohan said, "As much as I'd love to kick you in the dirt, it's not my turn. If you would recall, I believe I fought you last. You were last revived, I think. Or no, I fought you last time. On Namek." Now, this being said, saying, "Oh, that was you. So, you really think you can take me now?" "I could. It's not for me to do. 2 people haven't got a shot at you yet." Pointing out at Gohan and Goten, who both looked at this guy and said, "Oh, that's all that there is to fight? Okay." Then you hear, "Oh, so, these boys are the ones you're sending to the death? Alright. Hopefully they're stronger than you are." "What?" They're just saying, "Alright. They can both come at me at once." Both of them going into Super Saiyan 2 like it was a joke. Super Saiyan 1 and 2 like it was jokes. Goten even going into Super Saiyan 3, and Trunks going into Super Saiyan 3 while Frieza goes into completely going into golden form. They're kind of seeing themselves at a disadvantage, both going into God Ki and overwhelming this tyrant, then even going into blue. And when they went into blue, Frieza knew he was out of luck, and he started just throwing random full-on attacks. And he basically got it where he could hold it. He was the most powerful one, but he didn't have the stamina against these 2 kids. Going saying, "Okay, I guess it's my turn again." 1 step. You hear thunder. 2 steps. More thunder. Going into his ultimate form saying, "I shouldn't need God Ki to handle you. But, in case I do." Going into God form, then going even up to blue, combining it with the blue mixed with ultimate form. Blue ultimate, which is kind of a struggling one for him to use. He only uses it for like 5 seconds. Well, a few punches. And when he goes into it for those few punches, he feels exhausted after it. But he can kind of keep going repetitively for about half an hour. But if he does that for that long, he'll collapse. Noting that with one strike, he was able to send Frieza cleanly through a ship, completely bashing through a ship,
to the entire ship. Frieza
getting up and saying, "Oh, alright." While powering up and trying to recommence their fight. Gohan, who wound up actually losing this time, only because his power ran out and he didn't have enough time to go back into it before his power turned off and he got knocked out. And even then, it wasn't a full-on knockout. He just got knocked to the ground as Goku and Vegeta kind of stepped in front of him, saying, "Hey, we got this." Vegeta then fighting, saying, "Guess it's my turn." Starting to beat down on top of the tyrant. And in this version, Trunks flies in instead of Goku whenever they had to reset the world.
and Trunks in a
Blast towards Frieza. Frieza standing up.
Vegeta asking why he did that, telling his father about Trunks tells his father about what's actually going to happen and everything that Frieza was planning, and then he said, "Oh, that sneaky little man." And basically now was a father-son beatdown on the tyrant. At this point, they all kind of just fly away. Goku and Vegeta go back to training on Beerus's world while everyone else is not. Gohan, who still has an important work meeting he can't really miss, still has to cancel on the Universe 6 versus 7 tournament, but Goten and Trunks don't. And they're all so hyped to train, trying to become the strongest out of them, that Goku and Vegeta, that one dude who was with them, Magetta or whatever, that one dude, Monaco or whatever, I don't even know what his name was, they don't have him fight on the team. Mainly because Goten and Trunks score the same amount as him, and they seem to be more powerful by far. And then Beerus played this off as Monaco was so powerful they probably wouldn't even need him. And this actually made Goku be like, really? He's that powerful? Put in perspective, he can take a punch from me, saying Whis, and Beerus saying, honestly, I think he might be close enough to beating me. But probably not. As they kind of just, as they're trying to play him up as the super ultimate being, as the top mortal ever, Goku's actually so hyped to hear this that he said, okay, I thought I was going to get more chance, but I'll train to beat this dude too. Now, at this point they were all kind of walking away, like full force, like speed powering up.
And this is the look
that we
see whenever the first thing they need to step in the ring was. Gohan hasn't left super. First of all, the same kind of fights happen. Because the only real difference is instead of like Piccolo being there, Piccolo is still there, but instead of this thing, it's actually going Goku and then like the whole basically the same roster except for after Piccolo, we get to Gohan and Goten and Trunks. Now, the same kind of thing was chatted about the whole spikes being on Frost and all that. And it was discovered that yeah, there are spikes. And then they made it where the one to fight him would be the only one who he had no chance of handling. Piccolo. And Piccolo still he beat him, but not very much. And then they kind of went through the whole same kind of forces and Goku, and then finally the whole hit fight happened. In this version, the last one to fight would be Goten and Trunks, but in this version, there's only one guy left for Universe 6, and that would be the Fast Hit. Now, Goten isn't really as fast as anyone else, but he's used to fighting full-grown men that are faster than like light. So he's pretty used to having to kill his way faster than him. Noting Whis and all that, who he's able to somewhat keep up with. Goten actually goes in a full-on kind of blue form. Kind of in blue form, but it's not really in blue form. It's basically Super Saiyan Blue with a little mix of, well, not really even a mix. It's kind of just the buff version of Super Saiyan 2. Of Super Saiyan 1, that's the buff version of it. I think it's grade 3, combined with Super Saiyan God. This being enough to throw off the hits. As you'll be able to shrink back down with mastery of it and completely knock out hit. The hit that allowed himself to get the ring out, but he wanted to do it. Alright, I'm back.
Yeah, so anyway.
Yeah. They still make the same wish to revive Planet Earth in number 6. Tournament of Power kind of happens way differently. The Goku Black Rock still kind of has to happen, but it doesn't really change at all, since they still win the same exact way by calling in Future Zero. It's basically the same kind of fight, and no real differences. But there's one good difference. Future Trunks meets Future Gohan, and isn't the same kind of reaction as it was in canon. In canon, his reaction was, I was amazed he looks that weak and never trains. In this version it was, oh crap, he's a god. And then Gohan said, I'll take a day off of work. I'll be back. Training with him inside the little period of time for 1 year. When that 1 year was over, Trunks had Super Saiyan 2, limited use on God Ki, and a slight knowledge of Super Saiyan forms 3 and up. Or just 3 God and all that. He knew about as much as, well, Goten or past Trunks had. Well, actually both trained with him. And they all kind of trained together.
Now, this meant that they had been trained enough that they could fight just about anyone. And Trunks actually had remarked that now he was basically the strongest thing around. Before he went back to his time with everyone, they still did, and they wound up still having to go to a different timeline and all that. Well, that kind of stuff still kind of has to happen. Anyway, next we have the whole fight between... Well, Tournament Power kind of really changes up. Because I could just say that they took Trunks from the future and put him in there, but nah, that would make no sense to me. So in this version, Goten and Trunks don't really do anything because they're still kind of guarding the island, and they still have to wind up getting Frieza back. Goten marking how it'd kind of be a waste since they could easily take on Frieza by themselves, pointing to him and Trunks, saying, yeah, but no. So they wind up choosing not to have Goten and Trunks. So Goten and Trunks still protect the animals, all that. Tournament of Power kind of boils down to 2 things. There's a handful of people left. And those would be Vegeta, Dispo, Topo, Goku, Frieza, and Jiren, as well as Gohan. Now, being that they're all still pretty much left, the only ones left from their entire universes, 17 is still there, but he's hiding, to get that wish the same way he had in canon. Now, Gohan had actually said, I'll take care of this, goes into God form, and actually overwhelms Dispo's speed, kicking him off the entirety of the arena. Now we've just got 2 Universe 11 or 10, I don't know. Basically just Jiren and Topo versus well, most powerful people from Universe 7. Topo goes into the same, buff form as he was God Destruction form, and Jiren still powers up to 100%. But an Ultra Instinct Goku and a, Super Evolution Blue Vegeta, as well as a kind of ultra, Ultimate Blue form version of Gohan, kind of overwhelmed them. And then Frieza's golden form on top of that. They took out Topo, and then Jiren was kind of a last fight. Barely a last fight. And I don't know the Moreau arc, so my apologies. So yeah. As they kind of wish for all the universe to be brought back, and that's all.